What up, what up? It's the CO Show Podcast, episode 12. I'm your host, CO. I got Breezy with me. Bree, what up?
Hey.
Yo, Bree, it's been 2 weeks. I've been on vacation. What you been up to?
Oh, just this and that, spending time with my son, hanging out at the house, not doing too much. I've been relaxing for real.
You said he's not in school yet.
No, he's only 2.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, he just a baby. He think he grown. He look grown, but he not.
What time does a 2-year-old wake up?
My son is pretty good. He wakes up at like 10 a.m. I feel like that's fair.
10 a.m.?
Yeah.
How much sleep does he require then, like, if he's waking up that late?
He needs probably I say a good 15 hours total out of 24 hours in a day.
15?
Mm-hmm.
He only up for 9?
Yeah, because he takes a nap. His nap is like 2-3 hours, maybe 4 if he's playing a lot. And then when he goes to bed, he'll sleep 10, 11 hours.
Oof.
He'll go to bed. If he goes to bed at 9, he'll wake up at 9 or 10. Bedtime is at 9 p.m.
Okay. Damn, that's crazy. That's a long
Being
time
bad
to be asleep.
will make you tired.
I always wonder, like, kids have a lot of energy when they're awake, but I guess because you got so much damn sleep, you should have plenty of energy, but it is what it is. On this podcast, we get to the good news first. I ain't got much for you, but today, the good news is Meek Mill was granted a new hearing in front of the Superior Court. That's a plus.
It's great news.
He's been on probation since 2008 for something that happened, and Judge Janice Brinkley in Philadelphia, for those who don't know what the situation, she sentenced him 2 to 4 years in prison, and he basically is out right now. Like, he's still going through a trial or whatever, but he's out right now, and he's been pushing to get her removed from the case because he feels like, or he didn't feel like, he feels like he knows she's biased. She has a bias against him, so he got a new situation going on, or at least he gets a new look at it. So that's a plus right there, man.
Yeah, that's great. And it's a rare find nowadays with people being able to get a second chance at anything like that, especially for the people in the Black community.
Mm.
A lot of times, we are being targeted. So for him to be able to get that, it's a progress that we really, really, really need.
I'm just looking at it like, does it really take, I could see it coming from somebody of another race, like coming to him like the way she came to him. She's a Black woman, and for me, I don't know what he was back then as a person, like running the street when he had the nappy braids and he was hanging around with a bunch of niggas. I mean, he still hangs around with a bunch of niggas, but he's clearly doing great things for his community, and he's making a lot of money, and he's been successful, so he's done a really good job at staying out of trouble. But for me, it's just like, why does it take all that? Like, why does he have to go hang out with billionaires and millionaires and just do all this reform stuff just to be able to try to clear his name? Like, why does it take all that for a young Black man?
Well, like you said, even though she's a Black judge, we still, as Black people amongst ourselves, have stereotypes and be like, he probably did do that shit. I know how they be, or you feel like because he's in the streets or he's from a certain neighborhood, or some of the people, or feel like you know the people he's around, just based off that, you would assume that maybe he's violent or angry or ignorant or uneducated, which all of them things could not be true. But because he fits the visual stereotype, they automatically put you there. A lot of times, people say, oh, white people, they're so prejudiced or they're racist or they think these things about us, but Black people think negative things about other Black people too.
Yeah.
And because they feel like, well, I'm Black, so I can say that. I can do that. But that's not necessarily true, because at the end of the day, you can't judge somebody and say, oh, them niggas ain't shit. Them niggas over there ain't doing nothing. Oh, they from this hood. Oh, they this. They raggedy. They that. Why?
I agree with that. I feel like there are Black people who look at other Black people and be like, yo, that shit ghetto, or like, I ain't hanging out over there. I ain't trying to get my car broken into. That's their life experiences. So I get that, and they may be on one accord with white people who feel that way. And for me, it's just like, I'm in agreement with that. I feel like if you're saying like, you know how people be like when someone goes to jail, they be like, free such and such.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, that nigga did the crime. No, don't free him. Let him do it. He needs to learn his lesson.
Yeah.
He'll be all right. So I don't automatically say, oh, he black, he need a break.
But if you're gonna say don't free such and such, I need you to really know that such and such did what they did because
No, I'm only saying if he really did it, then no, don't free that nigga. He did the crime.
Yeah.
He needed, and sometimes the crime may be too harsh. That's all relative in what we think, but I do think that sometimes when people be screaming free meat or free whoever, I'm like, no, that nigga did the crime. He needs to actually understand because there are bad people, and it's not all bad black people. I'm just speaking on black people right now. In his situation, clearly it's 2019, and that was 2008, and it just goes to show like you can be on probation, and we all look at it like, oh man, he was just popping a willie. How could you send him to jail for popping a willie? And an attorney told me one time, she was just like, look, bro, I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of people think that getting out on probation is just this great thing. And it is. You would rather be at home on your couch than in a cell. I get that part. But she's like, you really have to pay attention to what you do. Because breaking any law, I don't give a damn if they told you don't jaywalk and you cross the street outside of the little crosswalk. That'll get you put back in jail because technically that's breaking the law.
Yeah.
So that's crazy, man. I don't know anything about court in jail other than traffic issues, but you can probably speak to like what it's really like when you're dealing with real life like issues dealing with.
I mean, I know one thing about probation. Probation is something that I definitely know for sure, and I feel like when I was put on probation, it was almost like we could just make you pay this, or we could just throw you in jail. But we can get so much more if we basically put this leash on you. Yeah. Because now, like you said, you do have to be conscious of everything you do. And we'll make more money if we can tack on another case and violate you for your probation and hit you with a new charge and then stack it up that way. So now, if you would have just had a closed case or say maxed out your time, then you have a clean slate. But now we can double it up. We can give you more time. We can violate you, give you charge, put that together, and give you a fine.
Let me ask you this. Does it, like, to be in jail, I understand it costs them to house each person in jail.
Not much.
But I also understand they're getting a lot of, and if it's not free, it's damn near free labor. So for me, it's like, do you think it's more of a win-win situation for them to have you in jail financially or not?
I think that it has to be a win-win situation because when you think about just getting materials for dirt cheap and the fact that a lot of times they make the women share bars of soap, they make them reuse, you know, like for example, when I was in jail, I couldn't even get a styrofoam cup. You know, that's something that it costs probably less than a penny. You could probably get multiple cups for a few cents. Yeah. But you don't have that. You know, you have a toothbrush with 2 bristles on it. You got a washcloth that has no bristles on it. So these are the cheapest materials that they can find, but they're getting checks. Each head in that house is a check. They're getting more than enough money to have you in a nice plush in a hotel damn near.
Gotcha.
But instead, they pocket that money.
Is jail, like, are the conditions in jail better in jail or prison? Because I heard prison, but I don't know.
I've never been to prison. But I do know a lot of people that are in prison and free my folks that's down the road too. But it's supposed to be more plush, but it still can be more dangerous because now you in there with the people where you obviously had to really do something to come down here. Yeah. So now you have groups of people that have power. You have people that will target you, extort you, you know, take your snacks, take your money, take your phone time, won't let you do anything. You can't move until you go through these people. So it can be a dangerous situation. And then you have the crooked COs. See, in jail, it's like, okay, you got the correctional officers, but they're more like street police officers versus the correctional officers. They see these same people for years. Let's say you work in this prison for 5 years. You've been around this same inmate for 5 years. So they develop relationships with them and do shady things with that too. So it can get really sticky. But I mean, then again, they're getting weed, they're getting liquor, they got cell phones, they got Netflix and chill. So, you know, that's cool too.
They got Netflix in prison?
Hell yeah, they got big screens and all that.
And they sell or like in a... Are you serious?
I saw a guy a few months ago that had like I kid you not, it had to be at least like 50, 60-inch TV.
That nigga must got some bread.
Like it literally, yeah. Always. And they be in there getting fresh too.
Who are they getting fresh for on visitation day?
Pictures, visitation day. And then it also like helps keep them sane though.
Okay, it gives them a normalcy.
Yeah.
Just being inside. Okay.
Because you don't want to get out and feel like Back to the Future, like, where am I? You want to feel like you're up on what's going on. So you're obsessed with watching TV or what's the newest fashions to try to feel like when you get back, you're not like, what are we doing?
I guess it sounds like now prison is a lot different than it was back in the day, because people would get out that been in like since like 90, and they would get out and they would be like, how do you work a computer? Like, what are you doing? Like,
right.
Because there were none when you went in other than like, it just wasn't. So, and for me, I was watching a special on Netflix about the Central Park 5. Did you see it?
Yeah, I did.
I'm glad you seen it, man. I wanted to call you so bad. As you seen it.
I had to see it.
For me, like, I was speaking to a young lady earlier, and she said all her guy friends refused to watch it, but she heard a lot of women that were watching it, and she wanted to know what I thought about it because I watched it. And for me, I want to hear what you think about it first, because for me, it's a lot. It's a whole. I thought a lot about it, and there was a few people to blame in it for me. But go ahead.
To me, I felt a numbness when I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
I know that a lot of the people that I spoke with said that it brought them to tears. For me, I didn't really have that reaction because it was like, it's not a story that I haven't heard before.
Mm-hmm.
It is unique in itself of what took place, but at the same time, it's like, it's been going on. This is not something that's news. It kind of bothers me when things is like, we knew this already. Kind of like if you go back to the R. Kelly situation where it was like, everybody's like, oh, we're going to mute him. We're so outraged. They need to be fired. But we knew about this though.
Yeah.
You know, if it was really, so we're in the uproar. I mean, good for Netflix for bringing it out and, you know, the creators of it. But at the same time, it's like.
Is her name Duvernay or Duvernay?
I thought it was Duvernay.
How do you say it?
Duvernay.
You can't talk. Yeah. Duvernay. Okay. Ava Duvernay. But go ahead.
Oh, but yeah, I don't know. I just felt like her specifically though was just like, it was messed up though. I really couldn't even put it together because at the same time it was just like, this is what they do. They target you. Like the guy though that really touched me the most is the one who he wasn't even really supposed to be there though. Like him.
Corey Wise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seeing him and how they did him, it was just like, you know, you have to be so cautious of the things you do and where you're going and everything. You never know, being in the wrong place at the wrong time, being looking the way you are or being just who you are can cost you potentially your life. And I know it was like a lot of people debating like, well, you know, they got settlements, so really it was worth it.
They never been to jail before. Those people never been to jail. I can tell you right now.
There were a lot of people who felt like that, and I'm not gonna lie. I've been to jail. And I thought about it like,
maybe the people who only did like 6 years.
Yeah,
years.
That's what I was thinking. But at the same time, though, the torture, the abuse, the getting beat up, and then to go in and have to be a registered sex offender, and then to be targeted like that in that realm at the same time, it amplifies it so much more. You're not just thinking about just doing time for any old thing. You're looking at being a target, being somebody everybody knows who you are, and you know, you just become this monster to everyone. Your family is brought shame and all of this for something that you didn't do. So it's just like crazy to me, you know. But at the same time, I don't know, when I get to the other side and I had that money, I might be okay though.
Money blows fast though.
I might be okay.
Money blows fast. I promise you, it's not worth it. Like, I get it. Don't get me wrong, because it's like, I thought about that too. I was just like, okay, well, let's say you was out here for 6 years. And you was just going to college, because that was like their college year.
Doing anything.
Let's say you were going to college or you got a job. How much would you have made, and how many mistakes would you have made? So I thought about it from that side. But I'm just like, bro, being in jail for 8 hours, I ain't never been in prison. I visited for my uncle when he was in it. But like, bro, I'm telling you, you would pay any amount of money to get out. So I know it ain't like you just be like, oh, I'll go there for 6 years or $6 million. Like, it's not that cool. But for me, the Corey Wise kid, I got that because he was the oldest, and clearly he was uneducated and he didn't speak well. And his mom, like, to me, the parents more than anything, like, they played a part in it for me to blame. Not all of them, because the one lady who was Yusuf's mom, Yusuf Salam.
Yeah.
His mom clearly was intelligent enough to say, "Look, I know my rights. My son's underage. You can't have him in here.
Right.
I'm taking him out now." I felt bad because I looked at the other parents and they didn't know any better. For the ones who were there, they didn't know any better. They didn't know their rights. So they just kind of rolled with whatever the police told them, even though what the police told them was wrong. They just kind of rolled with it.
I mean, imagine the level of fear they had, though, at the same time. It's not even necessarily knowing any better, because I could see somebody kind of knowing it's wrong, but because the fear that they instilled in them, the threats and everything else, that they just felt like they were forced at the same time.
Yeah, but like if you know the law, like that lady, the lady
you're
who
right.
knew,
You're right.
Yusuf's mom, she knew the law, so she had a certain like force with her. Like she was like, "Look, I know my rights. You ain't holding my son in here, and lady, you should be ashamed of yourself." Like, they couldn't walk with that because they didn't know any better. Like they didn't, in their mind, they, like you said, they felt like it was wrong, but they didn't really know the law, so they were just unsure of what they should be saying or how they should handle it. Like the one guy, his dad and his mom were there.
Right.
The guy with the scar over his face, I can't remember his name, but he looked like confused, and he kind of confused me for a minute because I'm like, is he really tripping because he don't want to lose his job, or is he tripping because his son's in jail? Like,
I think he was kind of like, it seemed like he was in a little bit of shock to me. Like, it
Really?
wasn't even that he was so necessarily confused. It was like, in the moment, though, it's one of those things, like, we're looking from the outside. So it's like, to us, it's like, oh, I would just respond so quickly. Like, I try not to be so quick to judge the parents and how they react, because it's like something that's so unique. It's not like you can think of someone else that went through something like that and be like, well, what did they do? You know, you just Johnny on the spot. So it's like, it can put a lot of pressure on people to kind of be like, not be able to save their child or help their child or know what to do.
It's a helpless situation. But it's one of those things too, like I just said, like not knowing the law or knowing your rights is a big deal. And that was the biggest deal I could ever point to in life, to say, look, my nigga, you should have knew what was going on. Because the kids, you can't blame them. They're 14, 15. Right. One of them was 16, but the rest of them were like 14, 15. So you can't look at them, because if you put somebody in a room at that age as a teenager and you hold them in there for 17, 18 hours or 20 hours, you don't feed them. You got them in a dark room. You put the light over them. So it's like, at some point, they're going to break down and be like, okay, I'll do as you say. What you want me to say? So I can't put the blame on them. And then definitely the lying ass police officers, and then the prosecutor. She was a liar, clearly. And they had an agenda. And for me, I didn't know I wasn't clear on their agenda either. Because I was unsure if they were just like, oh, we got a lot of pressure on us, we got to solve this crime, or it was just like, let's get these niggas off the street.
Let's get these niggas off the street. Because at the end of the day, I feel like to get 5 of them, all of them, to say they did that, you know, and how they said the blood, I guess they were saying the reason why they didn't have the blood evidence because they were on her lower body, like, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, and for them to try to play it off and try to make it seem like all of them were just so monsters and crucial, and the lady saying she doesn't remember anything.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you are a detective or an officer or anybody in that department, you have intuitions. I mean, no, you can't just judge and say they did it or they didn't, but they knew.
Yeah.
I really and truly believe that they knew. Like, none of them could really just really honestly say, no, I really felt like they did it, or I didn't know, or now I'm changing. I think
a lot of them, it's like you work for a company, and it's like, you know, the company you work for doing shady shit, but it's like they write your check. So it's like, what do? Do you stand up for yourself or do you stand up for everybody and be like, no, this is right, and risk getting fired and losing your company job or your city job? Or do you say, I just do what they want me to do. I know this shit wrong, but it's whatever.
I mean, that's different though.
Yeah.
Like shady shit and what they did to those boys
Yes.
is a total nother level. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like people, like I said, once again, acting out of fear. Like you said,
Yeah.
they were afraid, but no, I feel like they did a lot of unnecessary stuff to make it look like they were just complete extreme monsters. Like it didn't have to be to that extent though.
Yeah.
So I feel like it was like we hate them.
Yeah.
We really truly hate them. We really feel like even though they may not have done this, we feel like they would have done it. Or we feel like this is the type of shit they do.
Yes.
So fuck them, because if we don't get them now, they probably will go out and do some shit like that
Later
because
on.
that's how we perceive them.
Yes.
So let's get them out of here. Fuck it. We may not have got them. Maybe they did. Maybe they know. Whatever the fuck. They black, so they do that type of shit. Like we said, those same stereotypes.
Like your president. Yeah, like the funny thing is, I look at him and I say, you know what? You really can't be mad at him because he tells you who he really is. Like some people lie to you.
Yeah.
He don't lie to you. He's told you from the gate. And when he says he's not a racist, yes, he's a racist. But when he says he's not one, I don't blame him then either, because I actually think he really believes that he's not. He's one of those people who's like, well, I employ black people and I employ Mexicans, so I'm not like, that's who he is. And that's probably why he really believes he's not a racist. So I can't really blame him. Like he's privileged. And when you're privileged, you only know what you see on TV, stories your older family members have told you. I mean, when would he have been around inner city black people in his life ever?
I mean, just because he's never really been around them to say he's known some, I feel like now he's in his 70s, right? In all these years, maybe not growing up in childhood or college time, but now he's seen what black people are capable of. He's seen the positive sides of black excellence. So to try to just turn the other cheek and act like you can't acknowledge that and to notice that just all people, we, as black people, we may only see, other black people in our community, or we may not get around other white people or, people from other countries. But at the same time, that doesn't mean we have to be like, oh, fuck them. Just because we don't see them every day.
I get that part. He's a different case.
Yeah, and then he had those tweets saying that the documentary was all lies, and he was like, they did these horrific crimes, and what makes him so sure?
I don't think he is sure. It's one of those things like he likes to talk shit about Obama. He understands who Obama is.
Like, the GOAT.
He understands exactly who he is. Like he tries to discredit him. And that's what people do out of fear. They automatically try to discredit you, and that's exactly who he is. Obama's people love Obama. White people love, like not all white people, because there's white people who hate him also. But there's white people who love him. Black people love him as a race. And it just is, there's a small percentage of people who may not like him. For the most part, black people love him. You may not even agree with everything he did.
Yeah.
But as a black man, he stood there and he was an example for a bunch of young black men in a position doing something that had never been done before. So he hates that about him. I get that. He's a hater. It is what it is. But that documentary was crazy. I think the parents, it's unfortunate because I'm just like, when you don't know your rights, and I can't express that enough, you have rights and you just got to know them. And I wouldn't feel like any other time in the world could someone say to me, yeah, there's no physical evidence, but he's guilty anyway. It's like, and then did you pay attention to the jury?
I mean, yeah, but
it was white. It was white.
Well, obviously.
It wasn't no black people in it.
And not back then. I mean, they select. Obviously, they randomly select, but they know who they're putting. They profile the people that they put on these juries. It's not like they don't know the financial status of these people, where they work, what they do in the community. They pick these people because they try to pick them based off of what the case or what the charge is, to feel like these people have an understanding of what is going on. AKA, we need you to make them guilty.
Yeah. And they said, even in the movie, or in the documentary at one point, they talked about how usually the judge is random selection. In this particular case, it was not random selection. It was, they put this one nigga on it, and they know what he's about. He's about sending young black kids to prison, and it is what it is. And they were like, that never happened. Even the attorney said that never happens. but it happened in this case. And it was just unfortunate, man. It was bigger than unfortunate. And I'm glad that they're out now and they've been able to get out and live a better life for themselves and their family. But I just hate, like, you basically took I wouldn't say the best years, but some people would call your late teens, your early 20s. Those are the best years of your life. And even if it was 6 years, it's like, yo, what was you doing at 22? It's like,
you know what I mean? Like, that's that time when you become an adult, you're learning yourself, you're exploring, you're discovering, you're dating, you're getting into all this different stuff. And if you get out and everyone's kind of like, well, yeah, I'm already starting my life, or I already know what I want to do, or I've already gotten this degree, or had these kids, or it's like, damn, well, what's left for me? Did y'all save a baby mama for me?
Yeah. Well, the one nigga got married super fast.
He had like 10 kids, right?
Yes, 10 kids. And I thought it was funny that a lot of them moved to Georgia.
Yeah, I did too. I thought about that too. I was like,
And I know they said one moved to Atlanta. The rest they just said Georgia, so I don't know what part of Georgia that is. And then the one guy stayed up north in New York. He was the only guy that stayed in New York. And the one other guy, he stayed in like Jersey, I want to say. But that shit was crazy, man. Even 6 years, 6 days is all too long to be in jail for some shit that you did not do. Speaking of criminals, so you know who Le'Veon Bell is?
Oh yeah, the football player.
Yes, he used to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He now plays. He signed a $52 million deal.
Damn, I thought it was only 34. It's 52.
Yeah, it's 52. $52 million deal with the the New York Jets. And Le'Veon Bell didn't play last year. Like, he sat out. He wanted a bigger contract. They didn't give it to him. They wouldn't give it to him. So he said, fuck it. I ain't playing. So he sat at home. He got his wish. They ended up trading him. So he's down in his crib, Hollywood, Florida, training for the new season coming up in August. And he gets robbed. And usually when you think, oh, that dude got robbed, a stranger or somebody they may knew from a distance broke into their house and robbed him. No, he got robbed by his 2 girlfriends. Now, having 2 girlfriends, don't know how that works, but it is what it is. You got bread, you can do what you want to do in life. But these 2 young ladies, while he was working out, he came home and found a bunch of his shit like ramshack, and it was $520,000 worth of jewelry.
$500,000.
Yes, $500,000, just like that.
Well, first of all, you have 2 girlfriends, okay?
Okay.
And you just recently came into this new contract of this new money.
He already had bread.
And you really he already had bread, but I feel like they kind of sat together. You should never leave your 2 girlfriends alone.
Really?
And you're not there, because this is what they're going to do. They're going to, number one, talk about you.
Okay.
And then they're going to sit back and say, oh, this motherfucker try to play it. You know what?
Oh, so you think you try to play it?
They probably said, you know what? Fuck him. He got all this motherfucking money. He giving us crumbs. He ain't really treating us right. We sick of his shit. He want to spend money on bullshit. So this is what we gonna do. We gonna take this little $500,000, get the fuck on. Guess what? He won't miss it. He got how much? $52 million. What's a $500,000?
But in your mind,
never leave them alone. No, not in my mind. He treated them bad. What I'm saying is, when you leave 2 women in the room alone, they're gonna talk.
Okay.
And they're fucking the same nigga.
Yeah.
So they're gonna feel like they need to create an alliance, because if they don't, one of them is not gonna be able to be there. One's gonna be stronger and one's gonna be weaker. One's gonna be dominant and the other one's gonna be a throwaway. So in order to eliminate that, we're gonna come together.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get this money, then we're going to go jump on the next best thing.
So where do you think you could go?
Them.
Where do you think you could go after you rob the nigga that's in the league? Where do you possibly think you could go? Like, what next nigga could you go to on that level?
He don't have to know that was me. I mean, her.
But he understands these are my 2 girlfriends. They robbed me. Who else are you gonna date? Well, even if it's not the same sport.
Their names haven't. I mean, I don't know if their names will be released later on, or pictures and stuff like that. But just because we know there were 2 girls, we could walk out of here now and see those 2 girls. We wouldn't know. We wouldn't fucking know.
They were probably beautiful,
and they could be. Exactly. So then you be like, oh, okay, hey, call me. And then be like, okay, a sucker born every minute. He shouldn't have never left them alone. Like, so that was a horrible idea.
Let's say he catches up to them and like nobody else is around. What should he do? I want to know what you think he should do. Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to say what I feel like he should really, really do.
Oh no, don't hold it. Tell me what you think.
I'm just going to say this. If it was me, because I can't really say what he should do, but if it was me, I probably would have shot them hoes. And that's real talk. Because that's a lot of fucking money. And your ass gonna die. But I can't say that he should do that because I don't feel like it's right for me to say it that way. But if it was me, yeah, y'all gonna have to die.
They would be missing. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
But at the same time, though, he gotta kind of take that L.
Yeah, until you catch up to him.
And no, not even necessarily that, because it's like, you played yourself.
I think what really happened is they sat around and watched what happened with what is my guy's name? What is his name? He plays for Buffalo Bills. I think he played for the Buffalo. He's the running back, and he was dating what's her name?
Demi Lovato?
No, the Decker Dunn chick.
Oh, the guy, and then he punched her or something like that, or allegedly they got into a fight and she was like bruised up.
Yeah. This is when she got robbed.
Is his name Chris?
No, it's not Chris. But this is when she got robbed and she got beat up by the guys that robbed her in his house.
Right.
But he was not living there.
But they were trying to say that they were fighting and he may have called them over there to do that to get her out of the house.
Yeah. And he wanted her out the house. She would not leave. And she still had the ring he gave her. So they came over there, they beat her ass, and they took the ring back. And they stole some jewelry. And she was saying it was him, but he never was found guilty for that, or he never was brought up on charges for that. So I think they sat around and thought about that, and they were like,
"Ain't nobody thinking about that."
You know what, girl? That could be us one day.
Ain't nobody thinking about that. They had to assess their own environment, and they probably, like I said, they probably felt like he was on bullshit. They was like, you know what? Pretty soon he probably gonna find 2 more girlfriends, and then we gonna be out of here. And what we gonna have when we leave? Nothing. He ain't trying to give us nothing for real. He want to buy shit, but where the cash at?
How about you take it back?
Take what back?
The shit he buy you.
No. Material things don't hold value like that.
That's my point. When he buy it for you, take that shit back.
Can't. That's not how that works.
Yeah, you a damn lie.
Okay, you get a pair. You get some red bottoms. They're $1,000. Whoopie doo. You took them back. Now you got $1,000.
Okay.
Whoopie.
Put that in your purse.
You don't have $500K.
No, you ain't supposed to have $500K.
And how does that look?
Huh?
How does that look to just come back and be like, what happened to the shoes you got? And then you just be like,
do you think that young ignorant nigga is paying that much attention?
Yes.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think when you got that kind of bread and you okay with giving girls money, you're throwing money like you ain't really paying attention to that.
You would be surprised though when you fucking with somebody and you got these bitches in your house. He paying attention to what the fuck is going on. Not fully, clearly, obviously, because
he ain't paying too much.
But
attention.
I'm saying he was still watching what they do. He just didn't think that they would do him like that because he probably felt like they really liked him or they was trying to see, they had feelings for him and they wanted to be with him for the long run. So why would they do that if they want longevity?
He thought they loved him for him.
Yeah,
Bruh, it ain't never for you. Sorry.
That's not true. Don't start that shit. Because that is not true.
It ain't never for you.
Never.
I promise you.
Never? So how is all these broke ass niggas
they getting cheated married? On? They getting cheated on?
It's a lot of women and they crazy women, but I still love them the same. That are faithful to broke ass,
that's true.
Ugly ass, bum ass men.
That's true.
Of all colors and ages, shapes and sizes.
But in his position, it's very difficult, I would believe.
I saw his picture. He's not bad looking.
No. I'm just saying in his position of having that kind of money, like you're going to attract a certain type of woman.
Yeah, but at
you know what they say? Bad bitches cost.
At the same time, a real bad bitch, she costs, but she still got her own though. You're not a bad bitch if you just look like one. That's an artificial bad bitch. That's not the real thing.
Yeah, but if you ain't got no job. Because for you to be able to run around with that nigga, where you work at?
She could work online at home on the phones.
Yeah, I know. It's called never mind.
It's called what?
What's that shit that they used to like? What is that? It's a webcam.
Oh my God, fucking like OnlyFans and shit like that.
I feel like I found out about webcam right when it ended. Did it end?
No.
Oh, it didn't?
They still doing it.
Oh, I thought it ended. I feel like I found out about it like super late in the game. I was like, okay.
I just want somebody to give me their password so I can watch from someone else's account because I don't want to pay the whatever the fuck it is.
This is OnlyFans or webcam?
The OnlyFans is webcam. Like,
okay.
It's like different girls you may know a girl or follow on Instagram. And she'll be like, click the link in my bio.
Don't do it.
For more. And then I click it. I'm clicking it. And I be like, what's up in here? And then I'm looking, I'm like, oh, this shit blurred out. And it's like, damn, I want to see it.
You one of them people where they be like, girl, show up to my house over here and such. And you'll show up anyway. Like, you'll really show up.
Nah, you got to be careful showing up to the house. I feel safe when I'm clicking the link. Pulling up, that's different. But I don't know. I just feel like when they do that type of stuff, it's like, how much are you really making, though? Because once I get the screenshot and the screen recording, it's like, are you really making the amount of money which you can be getting bootlegged and reposted on other sites? And it's like, it's only what, $9,
like if I have
$10 at the most.
Not to get off such, but if I have a subscription,
do you?
Is it a subscription or is it like every time I go in there I gotta pay?
I think it's probably like a monthly thing.
Okay, so.
Or no.
It's volume.
I think it's like each girl, you have to like subscribe, like how you would subscribe to the CL Show YouTube channel individually. Yes. So you keep subscribing to each girl, and every time you subscribe to a different girl,
you got to pay.
Right. It's not like Apple Music. You got Apple Music, you listen to whatever artist you want.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if the girl, like, if there's Heather, and every time I get on to look at Heather, I gotta pay. Like. I didn't know if it was that or I'm going to give Heather $150 one-time deal and I can see anything she puts up forever or monthly. I didn't know. I don't know. OnlyFans is...
I'm going to check it out and I'll do a review.
Okay. Make sure you tell the person's name, too. And how much y'all talk, what y'all talked about. Because you're going to talk. You ain't the person that's just going to look. You're going to talk.
Oh, you mean like the live when they're like...
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Well, no, because sometimes they have the ones where you'll subscribe and it's not live. It's just like a video.
Oh, that's why I was talking about webcam. Webcam is that.
Oh, I know what you mean. Oh, well, with that one, they have it where you can like press a button and it'll be like tip. Like you press a button and then they'll be like cash apping them. Like, here's a $5. Boop.
Really?
Boop.
Girls got it made, bro.
Boop. I'm not gonna lie. It sounds good, but it's like you don't know who the fuck is looking at you.
Who cares? It could be
your parents, your parents' friends, your teacher, your doctor.
How long did they look?
Your pastor.
Same thing with the strip club.
No, because at least you could be like, I'm going
to the back.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever did that?
Yes, I did.
Of who?
Several times.
Okay. You don't gotta tell who.
Well, no, it's fine.
Okay.
The number one person who used to make me do that is my baby daddy. When he would come in there, I'd be like, "Oh, okay."
That's the
Let
one
me go
person.
Put my clothes on.
That's the one person I feel like you gotta do it with because you don't know
not
what
necessarily.
kind of.
A lot of girls
kind of
don't.
mood that nigga in.
Right.
He might be going through some things that day.
You might.
And you got some nigga over here in the corner like smiling in your face, and he looking like, nigga, the fuck you doing all that talking for? You just supposed to dance and pay. So I would think that would be the one person you gotta like dodge in the strip club, especially if y'all still together. It's
just like awkward. Like who can be in that mode? Well, I can't say who can do that because it is a lot of girls that I don't know why their boyfriends or significant others hang out in the club, and they'll be like, "Oh, my boyfriend's sitting over there in the corner." I'll be like, "Is that your boyfriend or is that your pimp?"
What if you met him there and that's your boyfriend?
Well, I mean, then that just is. I mean, girls date what I call strip club guys. So, I mean, at the same time, I guess it's okay for you if it works for you. But at the same time, when you're dealing with a club person, it's really not, to me, a real relationship.
It's not.
No, because it's like you're in the club, I'm in the club, we met in the club. So the terms really don't really go outside the club. Although you may hang out and do things with that person, sleep with that person, whatever it is. It's like there's gonna come a time if you know that person is like a regular, they're gonna move on to another girl. Or you're gonna stop working there and you're gonna move on with your relationship. But as long as it keeps going on where both parties are still in the club, it's not gonna work. I mean, how long could you really hang out in a club and your girl is dancing there?
I think you have to be a different type of guy to be okay with your girl dancing.
I don't know really what type of guy that is. Really. I mean, in the beginning, everybody says stuff is cool in the beginning.
Yeah, that's because you're trying to like be on your best behavior. Like, there's plenty of things. You meet a girl, you can't show your crazy immediately. You gotta hold on to it.
I show my crazy immediately.
Oh, we know. You ain't holding on to it.
I mean, it's like a disclaimer. I wouldn't want anybody to be surprised.
But you can be that way because niggas are niggas and they just kind of roll with whatever.
Yeah.
But girls, you can like a chick and scare her ass off with your crazy.
Definitely.
Super early. You gotta let her give a fuck about you at least a little bit before you show it. Especially like if you one of them jealous niggas and you'll be like somebody might try to holler at you in public and he's standing there. Like, nigga, what the fuck you looking at? And like some girls, that would be a turn on.
Yeah.
Some girls, that would be a turn off.
Yeah.
She'd be like, oh, you can't control yourself? Like, dude, you can't use your words. As Kiera says, use your words. Use your words.
She shouldn't have to remind an adult. That really sounds like something I would tell my son.
Well, sometimes when you...
It's okay, because sometimes I have to use my hands too, though.
See, there you go. You on the same page.
But I use my words first. And if it feels like you can't hear me, then we have to open up your ears.
Yeah, you only use your words the first 3 times. After 3 times, I ain't talking no more. But anyway, yeah. So he got robbed, and that was, like I said, unfortunate. I don't know. He just got comfortable. We'll say that. We don't know how long he's known the girls.
I wonder how long he was gone. Like, you go to the gym, how long? I mean, well, he's an athlete, so maybe he was gone for a long time.
That was off-season workouts. You probably did outside workout, and you probably hit the weights. So probably like 3-4 hours.
Yeah, it only take, and if you know where it's at, it only take 10
and
minutes.
Know that's the morning. So them joints woke up with that on their mind.
They already had their bags
this is what we doing tomorrow. Or if you getting 500,000,
Uber outside.
Fuck them clothes. Get out of here.
Yeah, they barely probably had shoes on. They probably ran out with their bonnets on and their sunglasses.
Yeah. And he will never see them again.
Where do you think they at now?
500,000. You got to get them off. You in Hollywood? I don't know where Hollywood, Florida is.
It's not far from Miami.
Okay. That's the thing at Miami too, ain't it?
You said stealing jewelry?
Stealing, like robbing niggas?
Yeah, it is.
So they probably regulars in Miami. So, but you had to get the 500 off somewhere.
Yeah. I don't know how that really works when you're talking about like jewelry. I know sometimes, especially like with the Rolex watches, like don't they get flagged if you have like serial numbers or things like that?
No. You just got to go like up north. You go up north? Because the jewelers...
Yeah, there's a place for anything.
Yeah, but the jewelers, they're not going to keep it as is. They're going to melt the shit down. They may take the diamonds, but they're going to melt the shit down or something else. Like, they ain't worried about that. They just want the actual pieces.
But if you melt it down and it's not the Rolex and it doesn't carry a Rolex name, then the value is like, what is it? It's gold or what have you, but now that we're melting it down, it's like, how much money are you really going to get? They may not get $500K.
No, I'm saying the jeweler. No, they're not getting the actual value for it. When they sell it, they'll be lucky to get half that.
Yeah.
Like, but even if it's half that, it's more than what you... Yeah, it's more than what he was giving you. You made it out, and all you had to do was fuck around with this nigga and hang out with your girl.
You know what? He probably don't even know their real names. He probably thinks he knows. He may not even be able to find these girls.
You know what? I don't even think he's going to get his money back from insurance. I don't think he cares to find them. I would care initially, but like eventually I'm like, nigga, I'm worth millions and millions and millions of dollars.
He's just going to move different.
You know, no, he won't. He going to have another 2 girls the next day, and they're going to do the same shit to him next year.
But that's why I always say, like, guys in general, it doesn't matter, even if you're not a millionaire. Yeah. Like, stop just being so quick because you want to have sex with a woman saying, ooh, fall through my house, come through.
No, you got to put her out when you finish.
No.
Yes, you do.
Because, okay, let me tell you why you can't just Be like, whatever, I just met her. She says she want to fuck, so come to my house. And then I'm going to throw her out as soon as we're done. She'll have an Uber, whatever. You can't do that because now she just came and now she knows where you are, where the stash is. And you don't know what this girl is capable of, who she's connected with, how she could say, oh, okay, we'll just come back tomorrow. Or hit you up like, what you doing? And you'll be like, oh, I'm at work. Oh, I'm out. I'm all the way in Macon. I'm an hour, 2 hours away. And then she'll be like, perfect. We going in the window. They're not even really supposed to know where you live in the first place until you really trust somebody. Like, my thing is this. If you come to my house, we go together. Be ready to pay bills. Hey,
that's true.
Come on in, make yourself comfortable because my house is my sanctuary. It's something very private to me. You know, I can't just have everybody in and out, running in and out of my house because that takes away the privacy. That takes away why I feel so comfortable here. If anybody can access this, why do I feel like I'm just so relieved to be here? I'm in a public place at this point. To me. But, you know, they don't care. They feel comfortable at their houses. And yeah, it's probably a nice ass house. So why would I want to have to pay for a hotel or do all of that? But he might need him a little condo with nothing in it. You know, a couple little outfits. You know, Dove soap for the bitches.
Maybe he needs
and
to
they
start
could fall
taking
through
girls to
there.
hotels. Just go take it to a hotel.
I'm saying though, but when you got money like that, you might as well just get the condo because then you can still have your privacy and you can be comfortable. Because you go into the hotels, it can get messy and it can get expensive. And if you're doing it back to back to back, you could just pay rent at this condo, crash out. Don't worry about checkout time. Have
so
your refrigerator.
You want him to have a second house?
I'm trying to put y'all up on game, and a lot of people do this, and it works. But you have to make sure you have to make sure that your condo, you don't start bringing things because now you're defeating the purpose.
Yeah, because that was supposed to be your whorehouse, and you turned it into your live space, and you fucked it up. So you might as well just use the first place as your live space. I get that.
Yeah, but like you said, he gonna be right back doing it, and it don't matter because these dummies, they still come and pass out on whatever the hell they be on, and the jury be laid out. They want to show out. They want to have big stacks of money in their pocket. Like, what are you really about to buy today? Just be for real. Because you know you're not about to come outside and spend $20,000 just because you got it. It's just Wednesday. It's a regular day. You're not doing anything.
Yeah, that's not true.
I mean, I guess if you feel like because you see something, you just want to buy it.
Yes, I could spend $20,000 on.
But you don't have any plans today. We're chilling.
No, you need cash though.
I mean,
you might run into some people who need help. You might go take some girls to lunch.
But
you
now
might go to a strip club tonight.
Okay, a couple $1,000s.
According to you, you need more than that in a strip club. So if you're taking a couple of girls to the strip club,
I didn't say that.
You got to give them money to throw. You got to have your own money to throw.
Don't bring them then.
That's why he got $20,000 in his pocket.
Okay, what I'm saying is this though: the more you walk around with these large sums of money, the more you're gonna be subject to spend your money. That's kind of how you go broke. That way, if your money is put up somewhere and you do see something, a car, whatever it is, and you're like, "Ooh, I want to buy this," now you have to think about it because you're like, "Damn, I got to pick up my phone and get my money." So now you have time to be like, "Do I really need to purchase this? Do I really want this? Because I have to go get the money." Versus when it's right there, you just like
they'll just give you the car until you
come back later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So stop walking around with all this cash because that's how a lot of these guys get robbed in the middle of the night.
My bad, Bree. We ran out of time. We didn't get to like 5 other things I wanted to talk about.
Really? It's okay. We'll be back.
Yeah. That's our time for the day, y'all. Bree, what's your Instagram record?
Real 216 Breezy. REAL 216 BREEZY. Follow me.
Yeah, my Instagram's still the same, and I ain't changed the name. At the.co.show. And both of y'all giving me a stale look. Why?
Because it's just like your Instagram's still the same. Okay, but and
you don't like the name of it.
It's just the dots. I don't like dots. I don't like underscores unless it's like absolutely necessary.
Huh?
That's just her face.
Oh, okay. Anyway, that's our time for the day, y'all. Appreciate it.
Bye.